Theatre. This is the Dapper Man, and it's going to be my review for the Irish-British 1947 black and white film produced and directed by Kerry Reid, Odd Man Out. Now, Odd Man Out is based under the novel of the same title by F. L. Green, which is also screenplayed by him, alongside is R. C. Sheriff. Yes, I did look at it. That is actually a real name. In a meeting that's being held by Johnny McQueen, who is a leader of this, not, they don't say IRA, but you can't help, it is IRA. They say the organization, we know what it is. It's the IRA. And it's being held upstairs in this house of his in an unnamed Northern Ireland city. Again, we know this is more than likely Belfast. They don't say Belfast, they say an unnamed Northern Ireland city, but we know it's Ireland. It's Belfast. Meanwhile, as the meeting's being held there, he's planning with the organization, as I say in the film, to this bank robbery, or not really a robbery at the mill. And he's planning this out. He's the leader, and he's telling the others. Some of them are a bit questioning about him because he's been homebound for like over a month here, since he's been released from jail or prison. I believe it was jail. It's pretty much the same thing. And he's homebound, and he has this case of vertigo, and some of them are not really quite 100% confident about him. Only a few. Everyone knows he's a leader, so they're going to follow him. And he plans this, so they go and they rob the mill. However, everything doesn't go according to plan, and there is a murder that accidentally happens, which is not what they expected. And they take off, and their paths are split due to a certain circumstance. So Johnny goes from hiding in the very deep, shadowy parts of the city to encountering many individuals throughout the city. He does everything, and he dodges the police, or as you would say in Ireland, the Garda, and he hides, and there are people that accept him, people that revoke him, people that try to turn him in, and he's fighting this while he's dealing with a very bleeding wound that's just starting to really take a toll on him, and he's not getting any medical attention, so he's going throughout the city while this is happening. Meanwhile, his men are trying to find spots and locations. Every time they turn a corner, another guard appears, and they have to fight against them in order to hide in shadowing places and people's houses and wherever else they could find. Johnny McQueen even gets help from Father Todd, who is trying to save his soul and trying to redeem him from the organization that he's leading. And there doesn't seem to be much redemption, but at the same time, he does see where Johnny McQueen is coming from, and they have their words back and forth. His love of his life, Catherine Sullivan, is searching through him throughout the city, and she's encountered some people, and she has to deal with his granny and so forth, as she's trying to really find him, rescue him, so she can bring him back. As Johnny does throughout the city of the night, we see both the opposed and those who reject him, those who praise him, and those who basically curse him out. And you see the different faces of Northern Ireland and how they view him as both hero, anti-hero, villain, and it is quite intriguing. This is my very first time watching this film, and I have to say, I've seen Carol Reed's other films, The Last Train to Munich, and The Third Man, and I'm right now trying to decide which one of his is my favorite film. The very first film I've watched of his is The Agony Ecstasy, which has Rex Harrison and Charlton Heston, which is a very colourful, bright film. A wee bit long for some people, but in my mind is a masterpiece. But I think this is possibly his best film. And this wasn't his first film. His first film was The Last Train to Munich. Well, that was not the first film, but that was amongst his first. This was the film that really put him on the board of amongst other British directors, and it is quite a sight to see, and I very much enjoy every minute of this film. It may seem a bit slow for some people, but I enjoy the slow pacing of it and the way how it progresses. There is nothing wrong with the pacing of this film. it knows exactly how to move along in that same exact speed. It has the right balance of the shadowing, which shows different forms of the characters, where it just leaves that mysterious tone where you're not really entirely sure if they're really a friend or a foe. Another favorite moment of mine is the silent moments. When it gets silent, the tension really settles in, and it has me really, even though this is the older film, and I may have an idea of what's happening, even though it didn't happen exactly the way I thought it would, I can't help but just really just grip and just think about what scene's going to happen next, and this really intrigued me and caught my attention. And of course, the acting is mostly done by a bunch of British. There is some Irish actors in there, so you have to, I guess, overlook that for certain points, because there's not that there is not that much well-known Irish actors of today. James Mason does at points pulls off a decent accent, but you can't help it's really British, amongst other actors. Now there is some fine acting, like I said. It's decent and it's passable, and I enjoyed it. But you know what? I've got the movie right here. I might as well show you. I don't know why I can't remember his name, and it's going to bug me until I show you what the music composer's name is. It's William Alwyn, and conducted by Muir Mathieson. I'm probably saying it wrong, and yet I'm perfectly fine with that, since I have the Criterion Blu-ray in my hand, which I very much enjoy. It's quite a nice addition to my movie collection. It has crisp pictures, the sound is just perfect, and I can see they put some great details, because when I did watch this movie on a YouTube channel and on a cheap $1 DVD, I was not happy with it, and I believe this film is too important and too well done to be just thrown inside of a cheap form of a DVD. This is a very well made remastered edition, and it has some great supplements to it as well, along with a radio show, which I very much love. I love radio shows, so that's really how much helped me. So in my mind, this is probably one of the best Irish British films I've seen, even though it's not really truly Irish, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. And that is going to be my review for Odd Man Out. What did you think of the review? I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that you get a chance. If you have not watched the movie, now you will, because it is quite an excellent film. Even though I said the main actor that really stars out is James Mason, I can't help but I just loved everyone that was inside the film, and they did just a fantastic, lovely job. And hopefully I will see you around to my next review. Give me a thumbs up, share, like, whatever it is. I'm not sure. I'm going to see how this YouTube thing is going to settle out. I know my channel is very small, so hey, I have that going for me, I guess. I will see you around to the next review. Once again, let people know, and I very much appreciate you that's watching this video. Thank you so much, and have a lovely day. God bless. Cheers.